Let's get started with a quick reminder that we need to have for guidelines we need to follow as a code of honor. And for that, I'm going to share my screen. I believe the screen is visible to all of you. Yes. Yeah.
Yes.
Thank you. Thank you. So the very first one, that's about Agile, that is full of ceremonies that demands you to show up live. When I say Agile is full of ceremonies, ceremonies means meetings. Okay. And for that, you need to be on time, remain punctual, remain highly committed. In case you are not follower of these traits, considering this training itself as a project, let you follow this. Because it is said that how you do anything is how you do everything. And you chose to be the student, but we want you to be the full stack student who does all the assignment, uh, do self-research and repeat what they learn. And while you do so, you need to take the full responsibility because you will be hitting the success. So take the full responsibility of that. But when you can't complete it and leave it in midway or give it up, you may hit the failure. So taking the full responsibility of that will help you again, because when you will embrace it, acknowledge it, and accept it, then you may go back and correct it, and you may realize that failure was not a failure that became trail to the success. So please remember to take the full responsibility of both the elements anyway, because that is the result of whether you finish what you start or whether you don't finish what you start or don't even start. For this, you need to have the concrete mindset. The very first one is inspired from Lean Kaizen, means continuous improvement. For that, you need to have the learning mindset. More learning minded you will become, you will find yourself growing more positive minded you will become, you will find yourself growing in a complaint free mindset, in a way that you can handle any project with the stringent timeline and deliver it even with the lack of resources. More you can do that, you will find yourself growing with the gratitude in a way that leads to the highest level of productivity. And while you do so, you need to remember that always start your day with the increased level of receptivity. The very first one, for that, I have given you the 30 days challenge. Many of you have opted for it, and those who has yet not opted, you can choose to do so. More details can be rewatched about it in day one's session, where I have explained about it. Second, start any learning, any tech learning, any new learning by following golden quadrant of learning. When I say golden quadrant of learning, come with the 4 steps. First is declaration with the anchor, followed by learn, deep learning, and then draw whatever you have learned after 24 hours using pen and paper, and flaunt it back while you summarize as a 4th step in a way that even 5 years old can understand in less than 3 minutes of video summary, or a minimum of 90 seconds of a video summary. Okay, and track your own progress, how you have sometime progress from novice to expert. That will remain in WhatsApp group. Many of you are doing that, and I have an eyes on it. So yeah, so last week's summary has to be reviewed by me, because I was not here and will be doing this week. So great, and let's follow the first and second over here. The very first one, a declaration with the anchor. You all know what is anchor. Anchor is a quick self high five. That is, I'll be counting 1, 2, 3 and clap. You're going to model it, and then read the selected statement on your screen after me. Can you all see the selected statement? Just say yes. Yeah.
Yes.
Thank you. Thank you. So kindly model me. What I'll do, just model me after me. So 1, 2, 3 and clap and repeat. I'm a quick learner.
I'm a quick
I'm a
learner.
quick learner.
What others can learn and master,
What
What
others
others
can learn and master,
I too can do that.
I too
you
do
can do
that.
that.
One more time with the next statement, which is selected now. 1, 2, 3 and clap and repeat. Because I'm a quick learner,
Because I'm a quick
Quick
learner,
learner.
today's learning is going to be
today's
Today's
learning
learning
is
is going to be
super duper easy to me.
super duper easy to me.
Yes, it is going to be because you said so. And remember the sixth one, that's very important to be the giver. Keeping ego away on the path of learning, that makes you more spiritually grounded on the path of growth. When I say more spiritually grounded, means your happiness level increases, and happiness is today's new productivity. That's the demand of the corporate. And also remember, you are not here just to get placed and continue to working, but also to earn more. And when it is said that what you want more of, you must start giving away the portion of, and for that very reason you can start giving away 5% of 10% you're earning every single month for the charity or the causes wherever you believe in case you are not earning today, can you have at least the intent of giving away, that is 5% of 10% of your earning once you get placed to the causes wherever you believe in. The causes could be donating into old age home or orphanages, or feeding hungry children, or donating to again temple, churches, mosque, or gurudwara, wherever you believe in. Because when you give, you grow. When you receive, you may survive. And I am sure that none of you are here for the survival, but for the growth. But so continue to do so, and while you do so, remember to appreciate what you do, what others do for you. And when it doesn't initially seem like it is helping you back, continue to do so, because it is said that what you appreciate appreciates you back. So this is under the sixth trait and sixth code of honor. And how we are going to remain connected in generally Sunday to Saturday, Sunday and Monday, you will be showing up for the technical session, that is 10 p.m. EST. Tuesday and Thursday, you will be attending RRP session, that is reference ready resume preparation. That's the gateway of your placement, that strengthens your visibility, credibility, and thereby strengthens your marketability. Wednesday, you must do the assignment from the learning of Sunday, be it said or unsaid. And Friday, you are going to do the assignment from the learning of Monday. And Saturday, you can choose to relax or do your own research work or repeat, or any question you want to get the answer on the next technical session, that you can prepare for, or just repeat what you want to learn back again, or have a breather day. So while you are repeating, or any recording when you are going to receive, the only purpose is that that has been checked, consumed, and you have seen them. So even 1 minute, 2 minutes, 5 minutes for reference, if you're taking, we should be knowing, because we are giving those recording to you. So we expect one thumbs up in those video from your end, that is the like, and one comment at least mentioning hashtag replay, that will let us know that it is being used. Otherwise, just generating and rendering new videos, which is time consuming stuff, and giving you back, doesn't make sense without any engagement from you. Okay, so that's our humble request to you. So with this note, I'm going to stop the screen share, and will continue to resume from where we had left off. And we were looking at last about stakeholder. If you all remember, just say yes if you
Yes.
remember. Yeah.
Yes.
Thank you.
Yes.
Thank you so much. So we will be continuing now. And I'm sharing my screen with you all. Yeah. So the very first one, so because we knew now who is stakeholder, we have spent good time learning about it last. So today we will be looking about this stakeholder management. Just give me a few seconds. Yeah. So there is completely a scope when you need to identify the stakeholder as a product owner. how you can go ahead with this. So there is a complete cycle about it. So first, you need to keep in mind that when you are identifying, when you are managing this concept, when you are using this concept, it all starts by identifying the stakeholders and keeping the documentation that is necessary, uh, which will maintain the communication, do's and don'ts, and responsibility with the stakeholders. And based on that, you will analyze the influence will be made by them, and with the impact will be created with their presence and the interest area they will have. And based on that, you will start documenting and maintaining the expectation what you will have with the stakeholders before you are assigning any task or expecting any output from them. So in that direction, the action you need to take, and then post that you will review the result of that, and in case it is in favor, you will continue to do this. So this is a quick cycle of it. So if I'll have to say that, then there are 8 principles for this that you need to remember. Okay. So these principle highlight action words that illustrate the spirit that should be used in engaging with stakeholder while managing any project, or while fulfilling the deliverables, when it comes to maintaining the release, or when your sprint is getting over. So you need to remember that few principle with the stakeholders management you have followed, that always happen when you acknowledge their work. Okay, you monitor whatever the work is going on as per the guidelines. Sometime you need to listen and communicate back, that fulfills the demand and supply processes, that fulfills their expectation as well, along with your expectation. Sometime based on the nature of the vendors or nature of the stakeholders involved in a project, you need to adopt to the changes. You need to adopt based on the needs and demands and supply. And while you are doing that, highlight it under recognition, and then start working with them, and few things that you need to avoid. So in a nutshell, uh, if I'll say that there will be 5 keys. Okay, there will be 5 keys to while stakeholder management. The important thing you will find over here, that is the information flow. Okay, and for that very reason, we need to also identify the information management, because information is the key thing that need to be maintained with the stakeholders. And there are 5 keys element of those information management. Okay, first, you appear as a leader. Identify the leader from the stakeholder as well. Whatever the operations are involved, you need to be top of that. You need to be aware of that, and then identify the processes, because everything where data and information is flowing, ultimately it will be coining processes for you. Okay, and when you are identifying the processes, so again you are well aware that inside the processes data are also going. Based on data, your information has been flowed under the processes, and then it will be utilized into the technology. So these are 5 keys management. If I happen to talk about it again, it undergoes in the various cycles, starting from the plan. Then you need to create and collect or receive the data or information. Those information are generally flowing with the stakeholder, that requires to be authorized. Okay, that requires to be maintained with the quality. Okay, those data has to be the restrict has to have the restriction, because only the authorized person can access that you need to determine that. uh, and those identified data, those restricted data need to be organized, documented, and it must have the backup as well, because due to some reason that data may get corrupt, data may get destroyed. So you will continue to look for the tools or utility or the infrastructure where you can maintain them, you can store them, you can have the backup. And while you do so, continue to analyze those data, synthesize, and then continue to distribute that. And whenever it is not needed, you continue to focus on destroying them, purging them. Sometime what may happen, even in the banking sector, some data are not or some data are informed to you, to the user, that after this period certain data won't be accessible. Okay, the same thing happens in the so those are the historical data I'm talking about. So to manage these information, there are certain guidelines, and these guidelines are maintained we have known about PMBOK, BFBOK, and SCRUMBOK. We have IMBOK as well, that is Information Management Body of Knowledge. Okay. And IMBOK has the knowledge areas that talks about the information management process that always start with the technology. And for that, you you undergo or you take under consideration various project, and that project are resulting and fulfilling the result towards accommodating some business changes, and there some information has to be flown. So that will become the part of information system, and those changes with the processes has to be mapped and become the part of the business operation and can be studied in the business process knowledge area. And then these business operations, when continued with towards engaging into the benefit out of the information, can be studied in business benefit knowledge area and gives the result towards the performance, and this performance management can be studied under the business strategy. So if I need to talk about it, uh, this also include information system. Information technology consists of hardware and excuse me. Yeah. So information technology, when we will be talking about, so as a product owner, you need to make sure that you have taken care of hardware and software before the commencement of any project. And then based on the project with what you are going to develop, you have to make sure that these system where the information will be flown, those system or say technology are always compatible with the software you are going to develop, or say that meets minimum business criteria or business need and policy. Then you need to also continue to analyze the context, okay, where you will be using the data and tools for the building up the software under the business information. Ultimately these will be continue to help you or your software and the users when you identify and establish the business process. Okay, so for that you need to understand what are the key area and key role where you can identify the process, design the process, and that takes lot of discussion, brainstorming, and lot many things are informed when you are developing a process. But there should be a way that will help you to simplify those processes. Instead of documenting the process, you need to start depicting through the design. So we will be looking at it. And then if you have established this towards because ultimately when you design a process, that will help you to uh, evaluate whether to continue with this or not to use in the business and business information flow, so that the business can take the right decision. By the way, everyone is with me so far, attending and able to hear me and understand what I am talking
Yes.
about? Yeah, thank you.
Yes.
Thank you.
Yes.
Thank you so much. So with this business process, when we will continue to accommodate them, that will yield further the benefit. the desired advantage for business information that will be provided, and that will establish the strategy that everyone, every IT company or business industry need to master this as a part of plan, which will continue to give the direction to company. And because based on the decision has been made, the processes will be defined whether to be continued with this, altered, it requires to be altered, or it requires to guide the strategy which we have, or company has, or organization has finalized, uh, and to evaluate whether it is yielding the benefit continuously or not. Now you have understood the quickly, very much quickly, about the stakeholder management, information management. Now is the time we have emphasized one beautiful thing over here, to which we called as information management. Okay, so few models you need to identify. Okay, why you need to identify few models? Because let me flip the chart. Okay, few model you need to identify. Just give me a second. Yeah, because these model are called as business analysis model, and that help you to not to write the processes in detail, but define or design, or depicted through design. Those process can be depicted through design. So there will be multiple such design. So in the similarly, we need to understand, what do you know? We need to understand few business analysis model like activity diagram, mind map, product roadmap, SWOT analysis, fishbone diagrams, process flow diagrams, visual modeling, workflow diagram. ER diagram is entity relationship diagram. WSBS, that's a work breakdown structure. Conversion to design and documents that is used by business analysts, uh, or the companies for the business analysts. Those template we will get to know and understand them. So even if you don't remember these names, we will be covering these business analysis model one by one. So are you all ready to learn about these business analysis models? Yes?
Yes.
Yeah,
Yes.
thank you.
Yes.
So before we begin about these business analysis model, which is highly recommended and required for business analysts, we need to understand, when we are producing or designing this business analysis model, there is one common thing in entire these names. Okay, its foundation is one. And do you know what could be the foundation of business analysis models? Any idea to anyone? While it is created, what is one common thing? What will be one common thing in all these diagrams? At least one minimum thing will be common. Not in all, but maximum. Any idea? Okay, if you know, you have no idea, do you want to know about it? What is the one common thing that will make you more easy when you understand the models? Want to know?
Yes.
Yeah?
Yes.
1%, 2%?
Yes. Yes.
Okay, everyone. Thank you. Thank you. So because you want to know, you asked me, okay, you want to know. So I'm telling you the one common thing and one foundational thing which is common in all the business analysis model is flow chart. What is common in these all?
Flow chart.
Flow chart. So my next question is that, have you all ever under underwent, or have you ever undergone and understood, or ever referred, or has been told, talked, or come across this concept of flowchart ever in life? Yes, no?
Yes.
Yeah.
Most of the time.
Yes.
Most of the time, or in the school's time, for sure. So this flowchart is the foundation of all the business analysis models. So we are going to look at it how. So when I say this is common and foundation, that is in the maximum business analysis model. So let's start looking from the activity diagram. So let me go to the presentation mode and show you all. So this activity diagram, a representation one activity, that is uh activity that happens under ATM in the at the ATM. Okay. So you see here, can you all see the in the presentation way the activity diagram for ATM? It is mentioned here. Yes, no?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
So here you see this is a simple flow given about at the ATM when a person goes for the cash withdrawal. It clearly states that there are three entity involved. One is customer, second is the ATM machine itself, and third is bank. Okay, while to complete the entire process. Okay, entire activity of cash withdrawal. Whenever you design any activity diagram, that always start with the thick uh thick dot. Okay, thick black dot. Can you all see that the start symbol? Yes, my
Yes.
mouse is being over. And when you need to close or exit the activity, close the activity, what you need to do is that just encircle this thick dot. And you can see it here. This thick dot is encircled, means the activity has to be uh, aborted over here, or it has to be terminated, or it has to be closed. Do you understand about it? Yes, you can
Yes.
you see this? Yeah. So let's undergo this. How it explains? It explains that any activity will start with this ball, thick dot, that will do the first activity, first step. Okay, it will insert the ATM card that will be validated by ATM machine inside ATM machine. Okay, whether it is valid or invalid, whether you have put the ATM card, or you have put the credit card, or you have put the simple access card of any hotel room, just for example. Okay, so it will check what has been it will try to detect. If it is invalid, uh, not readable, it will simply eject the card, and you can take the card out, and the entire activity will be terminated. But when ATM machine detects that it is a valid card, then you will be asked, you will be prompted to enter the pin. Okay, and you will do your activity to entering the pin. Okay, the moment you enter the pin, now ATM can't authorize the pin, cannot check for correction of the pin, but ATM connects back to the bank. Okay, and it authorizes the pin whether it is valid or invalid. Okay, if it doesn't meet the means authorization, it doesn't meet the um, criteria, or it detects it is the invalid, it simply what it does, it eject the card, and you take the card and you go back. The entire process or activity will get terminated. All right. However, when it detects that this is the valid pin, it will again ask you, see, all the input are dark green, and all the action items done, or the process is done, are the light green. Oh, just to identify the differences. Okay, or any decision you are making, that is in the diamond shape. So remember, every decision has to be made into the diamond shape. So differentiate who is doing what. The based on the depth of the color, it has been differentiated. Okay, so however, the shape of this shape of every activity is almost same when it comes to input. Okay, when it comes to input, or when it comes to action from the devices or the terminals. All right. So where I was. So now the PIN is authorized by the bank. Okay. So what you need to do is that you need to, it will be asking you to enter the amount. You will enter the amount, but again, the amount has to be amount has to check. Amount needs to be checked whether it is greater than greater than the balance available in your account, or lesser than the balance available in your account. And for that, bank checks the balance and detects whether the balance is greater than amount. Then it will show the available balance and will eject the card, and you can take the card. The uh, activity gets over. Okay, but a balance is available, I mean, balance is greater than the amount you wish to withdraw, it does two parallel activity. One parallel activity, it will pull the money into the slot, in the ATM slot. It dispenses the money, and at the same time, it debit your account as well. Because two parallel activity happened, you can see here the thick line. With me so far, everyone? Yes? Yes,
Yes.
no? Yeah. So you see here thick line. So here two activity happened, and now there is no further parallel activity is going to happen for now. So this will be closed by adding one more thick line. Okay, and the money is dispensed, debit account is debited. Now again it will show you the available balance. Now you can now it will eject the card because your process is over, and you can take the card and walk out and can terminate the activity. With me so far, everyone understood how it was flowing from customer till the termination of the means termination with the activity. Have you
Yes.
understood?
Yes.
Yes. So if you have understood it, I have one set assignment to you. Like, you have developed the cash withdrawal at the ATM center using activity diagram. Do you think using the similar way you can also regenerate one activity diagram when I'll ask you for cash deposit at ATM or cash deposit machine, CDM? Possible? Can you do that?
Yes.
Yes. So that is going to be your said assignment. Everyone is clear on the said assignment? Yes, no?
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah, cash
Which
deposit.
tool we have to use?
Oh, that's a good question. You can use any tool. By the way, this is used under which tool? Is lucidchart.com. Okay. But not necessary you have to use that. There are multiple tools like Visio is there. You can also use it in MS Excel. You can also use it in MS Word. You can also use it in MS PowerPoint. I mean, you can also use Canva. You can. There are tons of such tools are there. You decide what you need to use and utilize them. And when you are submitting, make sure that you are not submitting any link for me to go back and create the account to check. No, account and all that is your part, you will be creating. But when you are giving or submitting this assignment, you are making sure that it is readable to me. Or in case you are not using any other tool, you want to design over the notepad, which will I not recommend, because I want you to utilize the tool. So even if you are using that, then make sure when you are submitting, it is readable to me. Okay, clear everyone?
Yes.
Yes, no? Yeah,
Yes.
yeah, yes. Thank you. So that was the activity diagram. If you have now known about the activity diagram, let's move to the next one, mind map. So how many of you ever seen the activity diagram in the past? Not activity diagram, mind map in the past. Have you ever seen? There are many ways to design a mind map. Mind map are basically designed for brainstorming purpose. So my question is, how many of you have ever seen about this mind map, or ever seen this mind map before this?
I
Anyone?
haven't seen it.
I
Haven't?
haven't.
Okay. And what if I say every single time we meet, you undergo the mind map? Would you believe me for that? Anyone who knows what I am talking about?
So
Yes,
Is it
no.
initial
is
cohort
it a
that you
visualization in our mind, like thought
No,
process?
I don't do visualization part as of
Okay.
now.
The
Uh,
initial oath that
the initial cohort that you display before
yeah,
everything.
initial code of honor that I display is the part of mind map. Absolutely right. So yes, we always start with the mind map. So the shape what you see here, that is one of the shape, okay, of the mind map. Mind map when started, it was in early 90 in early 2000, I would say. Mind map was invented by Tony Buzon. He was the pioneer when he introduced to the world this mind map, and it was never colorful. And I remember the mind map I was using during 2005 or 6. It was free mind tool. Okay, name of the tool was free mind. It was quite black and white, looked like this. Okay, where in the center we used to have the main idea, then it used to point the branch of that and sub branch, and we used to expand that to just to brainstorm, so that what one thing can do. Then it got invented further, and you might be start seeing later, and now that enhanced a version of the mind map where the color and different type of shape and everything got introduced to that, like this. Can you all see the colors are there? You can choose the various formats. Okay, you can choose various formats that you want to have or not to have, or want to change or something like that. So when you see here, you can decide what kind of the format you want. Can you see on the right hand side there are uh, various formats available? Yes, no?
Yes.
Yeah. So see, it's changing the shape. Okay, changing the shape. You can decide how you want to do that. So later on it continue to evolve. Okay, you can change the colors and all everything. Okay, so if you want to do that, you can do it. You see everything, the color is changing. Yes, no? So this is only text, but there are more advanced tools of mind map which are coming with the pictorial presentation as well. They have gotten the picture into that and like that. So that is used for the brainstorming purpose, because business analysts mostly need to have it. So that was the part of mind map. Now we need to understand this. Okay, that is the product roadmap. So, as a product owner or as a business analyst, we need to identify how a roadmap is designed. So, here is one presentation of a activity or a task, you can say, that you need to do. So in case you have a multiple team, say for example team 1 to team 5, and if in every team there are multiple people are there, so you need to make sure that every team is involved in their activities, and you have a plan to um, you have a plan to discuss, or you have a plan to present for the activities what every team is going to do for a year, and you have distributed into the 4 different quarters: quarter 1, 2, 3, 4. And in this product roadmap you are defining that which team in which quarter, how they are engaged. So simply activities you have listed as a bar. So you can again decide any tool using that. You can create such roadmap. So like say for example in quarter 1 and 2, team 1 is involved, 2 is involved, 3 is involved, 4 is involved, and 5 is involved in their all different activity. So that has been covered over here in on a grid form. Okay, so here it shows that team has decided they are going with the in the current application or in CRM with the Salesforce integration. Okay, However, while team 1 will be in this integration work, team 2 will be designing or working or finding the reference key or building up the organization chart automation. Team 3 will be whereas in quarter 2 will be focusing towards the Quip Leave app development, or they will check for the integration with the Google Hangout, which is not anymore there. And in the quarter 2, uh, they will be working with the web application in offline mode. Okay. And what team 4 will be doing, they will be importing the another utility which is called as draw.io with current application, and start working with the KMS, which is called as key management system, where in the quarter 2, whereas team 5 will start working on the offline mode for the mobile, because this has to be reflected in the mobile devices too. Now here quarter 1 and quarter 2, it is readable as well, and this is how it is designed. The same thing you can read for the team 1 in the quarter 3 and quarter 4, that they will start working towards the sales of industry solution using whatever the work has gone out. And then team 2 will be working with the data linking for the automation purpose, and team 3 will be involved to recognize and reveal the advanced admin control and quick for the enterprise in the quarter 4. However, team 4 will continue in quarter 3 with the KMS, and they will develop they will launch the APIs, Lucid Chart Developer APIs, which is easy to have it, and helpful with this, and that will be the responsibility of team 4 in the quarter 4. So everyone is very much able to visualize that who will be doing what activity and when, and you have not broken it down into the day wise, but initially of course quarter wise, so that it is giving the clarity that how this, what is expected in which quarter by your team, and team is knowing that which team is involved in what all activity. And for the similar way, team 5 has been indicated that they will be involved in quarter 3 and quarter 4 for tablet annotation and drawing activity. So this is one of the way, not the way, one of the way to design the product roadmap. So as a business analyst, if you want, you can utilize the simple ways and this simple representation to highlight the product roadmap, when it is will what will be released, when it will be released, and who will be involved in those release. So that is the part of product roadmap. Then comes to the next, quite important, as a business analyst you must be knowing, okay, which is called as SWOT analysis. What it is called as?
SWOT analysis.
Yeah. So SWOT analysis, why you need to know? So here, when you are talking about the change, so you remember I have spoken about change, why business analysts need to be in conversation or communication with the stakeholders, or especially with the clients, to by you to introduce them the change, recommend the change, or you know help them to identify the need of the change. Okay, because that will continue to give you non-expiring work or non-expiring project which is not getting over, and thereby the cash flow will be continue with your organization, thereby you will remain in the job. So for that, always remember, whatever you have developed already ongoing activity, you need to identify what are the strength of it, okay, which has to be continue into the future. What are the weakness as of now, so that your focus will continue to remain, that you want to focus will remain, so that you want to continue to convert into the strength further, or you want to eliminate those weaknesses. Okay, so you will be analyzing those details with me so far, everyone? Yes, no?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yes.
And once you have listed strength and weaknesses of the project, you need to also look for this, what all the opportunity this project is going to create. Okay, you list them down and then work on the threads, because when opportunities are there, what are the risks are there, and against the risk, if you have identified the risk, you must have the mitigation plan of it. So however, once you identify the strength and opportunities in a positive manner, that will let your um, current project continue, okay, with the customer. However, when you identify weakness and threats, that will let you identify the possibility or potential of the upgradation with the client in a for with the new recommendation. If you could do that, it will be quite easy for you to recommend to your client. With me so far? Yes, no?
Yes.
Yeah. Any questions so far? If no question, I'm going to I'm going to invite Prerna now to take the next slide. So okay, Nagalakshmi has a question. Yeah, Nagalakshmi, please go ahead.
So do we have to know about all the business, the models, or whatever the organization chooses?
No, so as a business analyst, you should be knowing all the models. So do you think these are tough to know about mind map? Is this tough to know about activity diagram? It is tough to know about SWOT analysis? No? Is this tough?
No,
What do you
it's
think?
not tough, but I had a question if they have a preference over.
Yeah, so see, I would suggest as a self-organizing team, you should be not guided by the seniors. Okay, as a part of business analyst, you do this, you do not do this. As you know what is your focus and you are well aware, while brainstorming, can you choose mind map? Of course you can choose. When you are developing a business requirement document, if you want to enhance the activities that will go undergo, you can choose to design this activity diagram. If you are product owner, if you want to lay down the uh, roadmap, you can choose this way. So knowing this will help you to do what is needed and when is needed, so that things become more simple and visible to you. Okay, so that's the reason you should be knowing preference. I won't say that in self-organizing team someone will be asking you to certain thing to do, but in fact you will be telling your choices that to develop certain thing, I'm going to use this tool or develop this tool. With me so far, Nagalakshmi? Are you getting my point? See, you will be doing the documentation, right, Nagalakshmi? And you have now clarity which diagram will be used when. Do you have that clarity? Yes or no? I can't hear you.
What was that? Can you please repeat again?
I say that by now undergoing this, you have this clarity or not, which diagram will be used when? Do you have this clarity? When I
Yes.
will do the SWOT analysis, in what circumstances? If you have that clarity, you will choose that, you will be choosing that diagram, because ultimately you need to train two people. Okay. One is your peer and second is your uh, customer. But before you uh, educate your customer, you need to know their expectation, and you will document those expectation, and you need to explain this into the documentation so that your user or customer's user or your peers can understand. So that is the time you will define it. Say for example, if some project has come to you and it is a banking project and it is more talking about what um in ATM, this time they are introducing some new button. Okay, and that new button is that what you call yeah, the button is that whenever you receive a fund or amount from someone, you can customize the message. Okay, customize or send a thank you message, just say for example, and that you can do from the ATM kiosk. Now you need to explain the entire process, when it will trigger, when this thing will be enabled, when the in when is there a threshold of the amount when this greeting button will be enabled. Okay, and when it will not remain enabled, and when it will be enabled, what all the activity customer can do to send the message to the sender of the money. Okay, and that can be done from QSK, and you need to design the flow, how it will flow. So can you not explain by designing into the document, or using any tool? You can. Yes.
Yes.
Yeah. So this is how, means you are knowing where, when to integrate what, and you can showcase that into the document, because you have you are well aware of all those tools, all those models. All right. Did I answer your question, Nagalakshmi?
Yes. Thank
Yeah.
you.
You're welcome.
Hey,
So,
Gaurav. Hi.
yeah,
Let me
Prerna.
know when to start. Yeah.
Yeah, you can take it. You can send me the remote
Okay, give me a
access. Yeah.
second. I need a second. My laptop actually gave me a quite a tough time yesterday. I'm trying to log in again. Give me a second. Yeah. I can start from this, right? Fish diagram.
Yeah, you have to start with this.
Yeah. So I'll explain. I'll start explaining until the time I'm also, working on my laptop. Give me 2 minutes.
Yeah, sure.
So, guys, this is one of the very interesting and I would say my favorite diagrams because it not only it looks interesting, but it actually works also in an interesting manner, right? Everyone can see that and can understand that it does resemble a face of a, shape of a fish. Yes, everyone.
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah. So that's the simplest way. That's why it is called as a fish diagram. It has that fish bones and the structure like a fish. And if you can notice on the left hand side, there are like some images or some uh, blue color cloud like I would say drawing. Yes. Can you see that?
Yes.
Yeah. So what it is written on the left and right hand side? Can you read it out?
Cause
Cause.
and root.
Yeah. So it is also called as a cause and root diagram or root cause find a diagram. I mean, fish diagram is one of the names, but here if you can understand, this diagram is primarily used to find the root cause of any problem. Okay. So what do you understand by root cause of any problem? Like for example, if you were somehow your refrigerator broke down at your place, okay, so what do? You try to find an engineer or repairer, and then they'll come and check the refrigerator, or they'll try to understand what is the problem and stuff like that. So there can be multiple, I would say, things that have resulted in the fridge breaking down. It can be atmosphere, it can be some cooling issue, it can be some internal problem with the fridge and stuff like that. So the bottom line is you have an issue and you want to find a solution to it. Easy. So what can be the possible solutions or possible causes of that issue? Not solution. First of all, you need to identify what are the causes of the issue that we get to understand. Give me a second, Gaurav. I have requested control. Yeah. Have you got the message? Oh, perfect. Yes. Yeah. Thank you, Gaurav. I can control now. Okay. So in this scenario, if you can see, there are like six light blue color rectangles wherein we have given a possible causes for the particular problem. Okay. So I'll give you a very simple example first, and then we will try to understand this diagram. Imagine you are a teacher or you are a parent or you are a family member, and the problem is the child in your house or child in your class is not able to perform well, okay, in studies, in exams. Okay? So now we have a problem that the performance or exam performance is not good of a particular student or a particular kid in your family. Now, what can be the possible reasons or what can be the possible causes of this scenario? Okay, so first of all, one of the important things are can be is cause. Okay, sorry, one of the important things can be environment. When we say environment, that means the kids home might be too occupied with other family members, or there might be continuous television or internet activities are going on, like always laptop is on, some TV is always on with some or the other reason, and this child is always busy in that. Okay, second can be people. People means he or she does not have proper guidance at home, or maybe the student doesn't understand what is being taught in the class. So basically, the people around him are not able to teach that student properly. That can be one of the reason. Okay. Third is equipment. Equipment means we can say that the student might not have. See, this is all I'm giving you an hypothetical example. We can relate the same example with a professional issue, but I'm just trying to understand that when you have a I'm trying to make you understand when we have a problem, how can these prospective causes can help you to identify the problem, where it is arising. Okay. So the third can be equipment. Equipment means the kid might not have proper books, or might not have, nowadays even we learn on tabs or other things. So the kid might not have that equipment, or or even might not know how to use those equipments. Okay, that can be one of the scenario. Now, in this case, management is a little odd for the understanding, but we can assume that maybe the school's management is not so great, and that's why the teaching is also not at par at what this child wants to understand. See, there are different types of kids. So some kids understand at first explanation, some kids understand after some revision, some need some personal attention. So this kid might not be able to understand what is being taught by their management or their teacher. Okay. Next is materials. Again, going back to his or her schooling material, like assuming he or she is not having proper study materials for studying. And last is process. Now, process is the way the student is studying is might not be proper, like they are not revising properly, or sorry, or their understanding of the concept or the way they are studying for exam is not proper. They're not able to I would say uh, concentrate on the topics or focus on the topics. Now, have you realized we have one issue? The issue is the student not performing, and we try to understand from these set of causes that there can be one of the or multiple causes that are creating this issue. Everybody with me on this? Yes?
Yes.
Yes. Yes.
Yes, thank you. Thank you so much. The same way, by the way, these causes can vary. Okay, there can be some other situations also. No? Maybe he doesn't have internet at home, and then many of the study material are on internet, available on internet, and things like that. So same way, when an organization faces a problem, like imagine if a company is facing low sales of their particular shampoo, for that matter. Okay, so why then these parameters can also help, like for example, environment. That means where the shampoo is being created in the factory, there might be some faulty settings, that's why it is not happening. People means the people who are working on in the factory while creating the shampoo, or the scientists who are creating the formula for the shampoo, they have not done their job well. That's why the quality of the shampoo that you're claiming the hair loss will stop, or the shiny hair will come, will be a result of using the shampoo. That is not resulting in after using the shampoo, and that's why there is a decline in the sales. Again, the third option is equipment. So there is faulty equipments in the factory or in the actual shampoo creating setup. That's why we are facing the problem. Management. Then again, imagine a scientist wanted to research something more and they wanted more funds and more time. That was not provided by the management of this organization. That's why they couldn't come up with the right formula or best quality of the shampoo. Next is materials. Materials used in the preparation of shampoo are not of good quality, and that's why the overall result of the shampoo is not good. And finally, the process. Process means the steps which we're supposed to follow while creating the shampoo or making the shampoo were not followed properly. Hence, the product didn't turn out well, and that's why the sales of the product has gone down. See, same diagram, but giving us answers or trying to find answers for different problems. You can use this problem at your personal problems also. You can use this diagram to find out the cause of your personal problem also. It can be utilized for n number of uses, and it is quite practical because you can change the elements or the contributory factors for your issue. Make sense? Everybody with me on this? And by the way, here, if you can see in all the major factors or causes, you can also have sub causes. Like, in materials, you can mention, okay, the quality of materials was not good, or the shortage of material was there, or sub quality materials was used, whatever, So you have ample of, I would say, options to think and to implement and to understand what is the cause of the issue. That's why it is also called as a root cause diagram. Yes, easy to understand, guys. Any doubts in this diagram? Yes.
No.
No doubts.
Yes, everybody. Can we move to next diagram? Yes.
Yes.
Yep. Thank you. Okay. Now here we can see this is called as a process flow diagram. Okay. It simply means what process we have in our in a project, in our application. That diagram, I'm just trying to enlarge it for better visibility. Yeah. So basically, for any business or any project or any activity that you do, it is it can be broken down into process flow. Process flow means even if you are, for example, if you are making a particular dish, for example, if you're making, I would say, biryani, okay, for that also you would have a process, yes or no? I mean, you would have steps to perform. Tell me, yes or no?
Yes.
Yes. For
Yes.
any cooking process, or even for any process, you actually internally always have steps or always have process. But we are so used to doing things that we don't realize that there are processes that we need to follow. Okay. So now this is a template for business process flow. So that means whenever we are developing any application, whenever we are developing any project, the project requirements or project functionality will have this specific process flow. Okay, and we can utilize this to understand it better. So let us understand what it says. So here, if you can see, there are different types of shapes that are mentioned, and they all have their meaning. Okay, so let us start with the left hand side, wherein first of all this process has been kind of categorized into four major segments, that is customer, sales, management, and credit department. Now we are trying to understand how a particular sale is approved or disapproved, or what happens when you want to buy something, and when you as a customer want to buy something, and what happens in the background for that approval or disapproval. Okay. Yes. So if you can see, can you read out the text mentioned on the boxes? If you can zoom your screen, is it readable or not? Let me just know. If not, then I will read out. If it is readable, then I'll request you to read. Yeah. Is it
Yeah,
readable,
it's ready.
all of
Yeah,
you? Great.
it is.
Yeah. So can we start from the customer? And by the way, how do we read this process flow diagram? We follow the arrow marks, right? So I'll just give you a start so you can understand it better. So here the first box wherein customer buys product, and can you see the arrow going to the right hand side?
Yes.
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 There is an arrow, that means we have to go in that direction, and that arrow goes to credit firm. So imagine if you're buying something on credit, what happens in the background? Okay. Okay. So what happens after credit firm?
Order entry.
Order entry.
Yes, perfect. What happens after that? Just follow
Order
the
form. Order form.
And this is done by which team? Left hand side, we have
Sales team.
mentioned the department
Sales team.
sales. Right? Right. Okay. Okay. By the way, sorry, my bad. We are not starting from the top one. We're starting from the start sales call. Can you see the first icon that looks like a pill shape? Yeah. Yeah, that's your starting point. Okay. Generally, the starting and the end points are mentioned like that. So we get a call from a sales team. So that is a sales call. Okay. First. And from the sales call, the arrow goes up. That is customer buy. Like for example, if you get a call from someone for a particular product and you just buy it, generally we don't do that. We avoid such calls. But assuming you get a call for some of the product, maybe a hair dryer or maybe some any product that you actually wanted to buy, and you buy that. So there are two arrows. First is from the sales call, the customer buys the product, then the customer fills the credit form, and it goes to order entry, and even from the sales call, the salesperson in the background will go to order entry. Did you see this point? I'm just trying to highlight. Yeah, this is your starting point. Okay. Yeah, always remember this kind of shape. This and this will denote this light green color will denote start. This this can denote light dark green, and this kind of again similar shape will denote end. Okay. So we get an entry, we fill in the form, and then when we fill up the order form, it goes to the next process, that is called as approval. Okay, can you see the approval process? Yes.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay. So from approval process, it also goes to this diamond shape box. By the way, these diamond shape box has unique quality. Whenever you see a diamond shape box, that means you have to make a decision. Understand that? You have to make a decision. Okay. So what decision we are saying here? Here we are saying check status, check credit score. Okay. Let's move. So you got to check. So on the left hand side, we have credit criteria. So that is like, that is like an disclaimer. That is like a conditions which need to be followed, or which have to be fulfilled for this particular sales to happen. So that's like we have that information, and then you check that, and then that gives you what is the credit criteria. See, there is an arrow coming from that. And then this credit score can have two outcome. Okay. So first is if the credit score is okay, then we go to check accounts receivable balance. That means when a person wants to buy something on credit, we check the credit criteria and we go and check their credit balance. If they have high balance, if they high balance, then we are good. Can you see? Check the receivable balance. Calculate credit terms and terms approved. So if they have good balance, see here it is internal. High balance, then again you're coming to this and you're checking calculate credit terms and term is approved and credit issued report. So that means, internally their credit score is good or credit they have enough balance. So that's why their credit report is issued and then the sales is approved. So if you have enough money in your account, your sale is approved. In case your credit check, you have bad credit, you might have some pending payments to be made. You have very less balance in your account. So in that scenario, it is mentioned. See, there is a different arrow going in. There is we mentioned it is bad credit, and then the sale is not approved. So, this is a simple phone call that you get on your phone on daily basis most of the times, and they're trying to pitch in or make you buy a particular product. And in case if we say yes, all these things happen in the background. Did you notice or did you even realize? And by the way, this is also not in super detail. There can be still furthermore parties involved as per the business requirement. There can be still further detailed process document. For our understanding, we have given these departments, but generally this should be the scenario for any particular sales calls. So are you able to understand this entire concept, how a particular activity results in this kind of process flow? Yes.
I have a
Any
doubt
doubt?
actually.
Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, I have a doubt. What is this arrow below that says high balance? What does that signify there?
Okay. So high balance means see, you're buying something on credit, right? So they're checking
Mhm.
your account balance and they're checking their credit balance. Like when can you buy something on credit? When you have a good credit score.
Good balance.
Like,
Yes.
even yeah, so it's like even when you're applying for a credit card, they internally check your credit balance. Now there are multiple ways to check credit balance. One of the topmost way is to check that do you have any pending EMIs or pending bills that you haven't paid. If you are
Possible score.
clear with all your dues, then you really have a good credit balance. And there are multiple ways also, but this is one of the easiest and simplest way. So that all checking happens, and there they have mentioned that, yeah, you have high balance. So it can be good credit score, and it is also your account balance is good.
I
Yeah.
mean, isn't that what
Clear?
the OK arrows, that is what that signifies, right? That if it's a high balance, it goes in the right direction. Uh,
Yeah, see, it is the check balance, okay? Check balance goes to check account receivable balance. So first of all,
mhm.
we are saying as a credit department, we will check the customer's balance, and to check that, we will check their account receivable balance. Means whatever they have, the money that they have in their account, which can be used for this particular transaction. Like if you're buying a laptop, then do you have that amount, that kind of money? If you're buying a fridge, do you have that kind of money? So depending on what product you are buying, that particular sales, and that much amount is available or not. And then they say yes, high balance. Yeah, here it is, mentioned high balance. That means yes, your account has enough balance or good balance, and that's why it is okay. Yeah, is it clear now?
Okay.
I have a doubt.
Yeah, go ahead.
What is the difference between activity diagram and this one?
Okay. So as the name suggests, these diagrams are basically when we say process flow diagram, this diagram has been, I would say, broken down or explained with the help of processes. Okay. Can you see this? The different processes.
Yeah,
Yes.
but in activity diagram also it was like broken down, right? I mean, the one showed for
Yes,
ATM.
yes, yes. But then how we break it down, that is the difference. So what it means is, first of all, both of them are in a way representation of your activities or your processes. But in activity diagram, we use more of, I would say software or business processes with the help of flow charts, or with the help of, I would say, we have those actors. Have you seen that actors, like, there would be one person, so we kind of, I would say, little bit personalize it more on the basis of activity. Like, for example, in this scenario, we if this was an activity diagram, we would have in a way introduced a salesperson who is doing the activity, or a customer we have introduced. So activity is, as per my understanding, is more on the personal ground, and it also has uh, more in detail, to be very honest. Whereas when we say about process diagram, so process diagram mainly depict processes. Okay. So in short, activity diagrams, shows one single activity of that particular process. Like here, if you say the last credit department flow that you can see, yes, the last diamond shape and all, that can be an activity diagram for the credit department. So in short, every department, what activity they are doing, that can be individually seen as activity diagram. Whereas a process flow will show you entire process, entire flow of your requirement or your process that you need to follow. Are you able to understand?
Yeah, so both these diagrams will
Mhm.
come in BRD.
Yes, depending upon what your customer is asking or what your organization follows. So see, basically activity diagram are for modeling, I would say thoda, a little complex or little in detail diagrams, like where you want to highlight who is doing what. Like, for example, if you're trying to understand a login process, then admin will have this login and this activity, sub-admin will have, or co-admin will have these rights, or a normal user will have. So it is like, when you have more complex structure, that time we go for activity diagrams in detail. But process flow diagram, I personally feel, is one of the very common and widely used one, wherein you can explain the process of any particular functionality that you want to, or multiple functionalities in your diagram. And which diagram to incorporate in BRD FSD is entirely your organization's call, as well as if the customer is requesting for any particular diagram, we can take care of that. Clear now?
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah, thank you so much. Okay. So anybody has any further doubts? We can go to next slide. Can we go to next slide, guys?
So we can use
Yeah.
the same tools for these two diagrams, right? I mean, in
Same?
this one, the box tools, right? Tools to
Yes,
create.
yes. See, these are basically we call it symbols. Yeah.
Yeah.
So they are more or less similar for all the diagrams. Yes. So starting point, ending time, everything. Yes, yes, absolutely. You can use the same diagram. Perfect. Yeah. Thank you for the question. Thank you for asking. Let us go to the next point. Okay, I think we are towards the end of this uh, PPT. So yeah, Gaurav, should we start with the new one, or you want to check with the feedback? We still have 10 minutes.
Yeah, we'll continue with the next one. Just allow me
Yeah,
a few
please. Can you share? Yeah.
just a few seconds.
Yeah.
I'm opening that up.
Okay.
Yeah, Prerna, if you can see now.
Yes. No. It is. Yeah. It is. Dora, give me a second. Okay, so let us understand how we can take help of visual modeling. Okay, visual modeling, as the name suggests, that means we are visually trying to create diagrams or models with the help of some basic tools that we have. You know, some of them are free, some of them are paid. So this is basically to do with a lot with designing aspect. Yes. So can I request someone to read out the text mentioned on the screen, please?
Visual modeling, graphic representation of objects and systems. With models, we can focus on subsets of information and identify patterns in our requirements, ideas, and business process. Example, process flow diagram, business domain model or ER diagram, UI wireframe, prototype, mockup.
Yes. So here, what are we saying that it is basically a graphic representation of objects and systems. So we are trying to, like the way we saw in project process diagrams, it's basically we are trying to represent how the entire process or activities happen with the help of models, and you know we kind of display the information on patterns, using these diagrams. Okay, the way we saw in the earlier diagram. So examples are process flow diagram that we already studied. Yes, so everybody understands it comes under visual modeling. And then also business domain diagrams or ER diagrams, those are entity relationship diagrams, or UI wireframes, that is user interface wireframes, that is how your website or web application will look, in designing phase before completing all the development. So that is called as UI wireframe or prototype or mockup. So this is the beginning of the visual modeling understanding, wherein we've already in detail saw how a process flow diagram is created, or what is the purpose of creation of that diagram. Okay. Yeah. Give me a second. I'll just move to next slide. Yeah. Yes. Can we all see a very interesting and colorful diagram here? Yes, that is workflow diagram. Now, you might also ask me a question that, why are we using this diagram when we already have activity diagram or process flow diagram? So just understand these are different ways wherein you can depict the activities happening. You can depict how the, flow of the application is happening. Okay. So when we say workflow diagram, we understand how a particular process, not process flow, but typical activity will be shown diagrammatically. Okay, so now here for simplicity's sake, we also have mentioned the numbers of the each step. Can you see the numbers in a kind of like a water drop shape? So starting from 1 ending on 11. So here, can you see this text mentioned in the diagram, guys? Yeah, is it readable to you?
Yes.
Yes.
All of you? Yeah.
Yes.
So let me just enlarge it. Yeah. So can I just request you to read it out from step 1? Yeah. Just go on, then I'll explain.
Tester
Yeah.
finds a defect.
Okay. So everyone knows who is a tester. What do they do? Is there anyone who doesn't know who is a tester? Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. Everyone here knows who is a tester. Tester
Yes.
is a person from testing team who tests the software before giving it to customer or client to ensure that they are working fine. Yes.
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 Perfect. Second status, yeah, tester finds a defect and the status is new. That
New.
means
Prerna, I think you're speaking on mute.
no, actually my toddler is around, so I was on mute on purpose. Yes.
Sorry.
So we find a defect and then we understand the status of the defect is new. That means it's a new defect found by the tester. Okay. What's the third point?
Development project manager will analyze the defect.
Okay, so now they have given it as a step, but trust me, in real life, development team doesn't get involved that much in all the defects. Definitely, some of the major defects or some of the major findings, they can get involved, but not in every, I would say, new defect. But here they have given it as a step. So let us try to understand. So yes, here they are saying that after a tester finds a particular new defect, development team manager or project manager will try to analyze that defect. The next point is it a valid defect or not? Okay, so can you see, is it a valid defect? 4 point. And if we say yes, that means if we say ki, yes, this is a problem, this is not as per the requirement, this is not as per the specification, so then we say, is it in scope or not? That means is it something or is this functionality that is being asked by the customer, is it given that we have to work on it, or is it out of the scope? So if it is within the scope, yes, then is it already raised? That means, was this defect already identified maybe by the developer themselves, or maybe by some other tester? See, it can happen, right? You all are a part of a particular team, and imagine you are working in a testing team and you are trying to find issues in an application. So it is highly possible that 2 or 3 person can find the same defect. Yeah, works. So that's why we are checking this. So earlier we went with the yeses, now let us go with no. So first of all, if we say, is it a valid defect? And if the status is no, that means it is rejected. That means it can be a part of functionality. It can be a particular way the customer wanted development to develop that particular activity or functionality, and that is right. So it is rejected. No, it is not a defect. It is working fine. If it is not in scope, then we call as a deferred. Deferred means it is not applicable because it is not in scope. Okay. So do you study for any topics which are not in exam? Yes or no? No, right? We don't study any particular topics or subject which are not in exam. So we call them, they are deferred. They are deferred. Okay. Next is it already raised? So if it is already raised, then we call it as a duplicate. If it is not raised, then we go to the, can we see the icon going up? Yeah. From is it already raised? Yeah. Can you see that icon going to the point above it? Yeah.
Yes.
So if it is already raised, yes, this duplicate. No, then developer starts fixing the code. That means, okay, the testing team has found the proper issue and developer needs to fix that. The next point there is, give me a second. Yeah. Next point is status in progress. That means the developer is working on that. Next is code fix. That means developer has tweaked the code, developer has fixed the code, developer has made appropriate changes, and then the status comes as fixed. Can you see status comes as fixed? Next is tester will retest the code. That means a tester will again go back to the application and they will do the testing and they'll try to identify is it a valid fix or the issue still persists. And then if the test is passed, then yes, the status of this particular test is closed. If it is not, then it is reopened. Did you see that reopen? Yes. So this entire diagram, give me a second. This entire diagram is trying to tell us how we can understand a particular activity. Did you see this? This is a workflow. That means this is how the working of testing team happens. Whenever, see, so tomorrow if you're working with testing team, tomorrow you're working as a BA with testing team, you will understand this is how their work pattern is. So basically they try to find a defect. Defect means anything that is not working in application properly. That simply means like if you are trying to work on a banking application and imagine if they're testing a login functionality. Everybody logs into the banking system, guys, here. Yes, no? What do
Yes.
you do while logging into the system? Tell me. Whenever you try to log into any application system, what do you do?
Give your user ID and password.
Yes. And what should happen when you put valid user ID and password?
Takes
You
us to
should
the
be able to
homepage.
enter the, yeah.
Yes, you should be able to access that, right? So imagine if even after putting in valid user ID and password, you are not able to access. That is a bug. You get it? So that means the functionality is developed correctly, but it is not acting correctly, and that you need to find out. So imagine that is your defect, and testing team has raised that, and then that particular defect goes through all these phases. You know, it is first checked, it is valid or not, it is in scope or not, it is earlier raised or not. So all these things happen, and that after checking, ultimately this defect can be closed or reopened depending on the testing. So everybody understands what it is. Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. And yeah, before we end, I know we are past 3 minutes. Gaurav, I have an idea. If you okay,
Yeah.
that let me discuss that with Gaurav, and then we can announce that in the group if time allows us in the next session. So yeah, Gaurav, we're done with this and we are past time. Over to you. Thank you so much. Thank you
Yeah,
guys for your
sure.
cooperation. Yeah.
Thank you, everyone. So, guys, this is a time of for quick um, attendance. Go to the WhatsApp group and just type in your name followed by one word from today's. That could be your takeaway, learning, insight, and you feel like saying that. Please type in so that I can go ahead, review them, and mark your attendance. So that is it for today. Thank you so much. Bye bye, everyone, and good night. Prerna, request you to stay
Gaurav.
back. Yeah.
Yes. I was going to say that.
Thanks. Thank you, everyone. Bye bye. Good night.
Thank you.